Well, hey, everybody, it's me, Katie. I am back again. It's been a hot minute since I have done a live and learn with one of our amazing mamas in our group. As you guys know, we're growing. We have not only a USA state group, I can't even call it a state group, it's our national group. So we have a MOMnation USA, but we also have 10 other states that are open. So gracing me with her presence is none other than the wonderful Gayle from Washington. I am so happy to be able to talk to you today, Gayle. Welcome.
Thank you, Katie. I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Absolutely. This subject is pretty near and dear to my heart. I removed chemical cleaning products from our household prior to right before I got pregnant, pretty much. So it's something that I was noticing, and we'll talk about this as we go further. I was noticing some issues. I was having some sensitivities, some weirdness. And of course, you know, my baby was going to be coming along pretty soon. So I wanted to do it while I could, and while I didn't have mom brain and all the other craziness going on, and make that switch. So I'm really excited to talk with you today and give our moms some tips on how they can also make the same switch, why they should do it, what are the benefits, and maybe some easy ways that they can get started. So before we get into that first question, Gayle, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, again, my name is Gayle Von Holt. I live in Washington State. I've actually been here now for 26 years. Moved here from Billings, Montana, where I graduated from college as an elementary special education teacher. Oh. And my first job was out here. So moved to Washington, stayed here, loved it, met my husband. And yeah, the rest is history. I mean, between us, we have 6 children and 13 grandchildren. So
wow,
family. Yeah.
So busy, and you have with all those kids, you have all sorts of reasons to be detoxing your home, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And it sounds like, being an educator by trade, it's probably really easy and fun for you to educate people on this topic.
Well, yeah, it is, Katie. And I guess kind of the same thing as you were talking about just a few years ago, really noticing a lot of issues with asthma and a lot of coughing all the time. And, you know, what's that all about? Where's that coming from? And here's something that maybe our moms can relate to with what you and I have gone through. But think about this for a second. When you go down that aisle in the grocery store, that cleaning aisle, what happens?
I can't. I actually avoid it.
Exactly.
It's awful.
Yes, it's awful. So you're coughing, your kids are coughing, and why? Just, you know, if you haven't asked yourself why, please do. Why are you coughing when you're at home? You've just cleaned your house. Everything's clean. Why am I coughing? Why am I having these issues? So those are the kinds of things that hopefully our moms will have the opportunity to really stop and think about. And then the other thing is, you know, all of these products that we use in our homes, they have child safety caps. Why do they have child safety caps? Mm-hmm. Right? And we've all heard the terrible, tragic stories and statistics about kiddos getting under the sink. Mm-hmm. And they're masters, right? They are master Houdinis.
Yeah.
Getting those caps off and unfortunately drinking those things. I mean, and the other thing, Tide Pods, they look like candy.
They do.
Right? Mm-hmm. So kids have been getting into those, unfortunately, and eating them. And it's heartbreaking to me. But it's not necessarily your fault, moms, right? Mm-hmm. That's how we were raised. Grandma and our mom used these products. And so if mom used them, if grandma used them, then certainly it's okay, right? But it's just unfortunate that these national brands have been around for so long, and we just think, well, if they're out there and they're advertising on TV and they're in retail, they must be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really a matter of what I really desire is that our moms will do their own research. Don't take my word for it. I mean, and I in fact have these articles on Language of Living Green. So
Oh,
I
okay.
encourage you.
I tagged that page.
Yeah,
So you have the information on that page. That's great. When we're done with the live here, if you could pop those links into the comment section of the live video, so that way they're there for the moms, that would be amazing.
yeah, you bet. Because it's really important just to educate ourselves, educate our children. And you know, it's interesting, Katie, I was talking to a friend of mine just a couple of minutes ago before we came on, and she is someone who did the educating, got the knowledge, made the switch, got the chemicals out of her home, and was recently traveling for baseball for their sons, staying in a hotel. And they were so sick from just the cleaning products that are used in those hotels. Her son was throwing up, had headaches because they've gotten all of those things out of their home.
So you
So
become more
now when
sensitive.
you travel
Yeah.
and you're breathing in Clorox and Lysol, those things are so toxic, so toxic.
They really are. And, I know neither one of us are scientists, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that our bodies don't really take too well to that. And, would it make sense when children are developing that could, toxins being entered at a constant into the body or around the body or through the nose, whatever, could
Yeah,
perhaps interfere with that? I mean, I don't know. I
yeah,
would think that probably so.
yeah. Well, exactly. And it's a good point that you make. And I'm not claiming that I'm a scientist or that I'm a doctor in any way. I encourage people to not only do the research, but talk to your doctor, because many, many, many doctors, especially chiropractors, naturopathic doctors, they are the ones that are saying, get these chemicals out of your home.
Mm-hmm.
Takes these things away, and more than likely, you're going to notice a significant difference as I have in my own life and with people that I've shared this information and this store that I found, to be
Mm-hmm.
really honest with you, life changing, life changing. And another interesting thing, Katie, is that about, oh, it's been several years ago, but well, 20 years. So they did an independent national study over 20 years of women between the ages of 34 and 54. And the information that they were able to collect about all these traditional national brands and the toxins and the chemicals that are in there. So they did the study before and after and followed these women over 20 years. Using these national brands in your home was equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's scary.
That's
But
crazy.
we don't know what we don't know
Right.
until we take the time to go out there and research and get the information. And that's what I love about you allowing this opportunity for me to come on here and just be able to share with moms. And yeah, it does matter, and you can save money doing it. I promise you. I think the concept has been, well, yeah, I want to use more natural, eco-friendly products, but I can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And at least with where I'm able to procure these products, the savings is huge. It really
Mm-hmm.
is. So moms on a budget, all of us on a budget, we can do
Right.
this. and make it safer for you, for your kids, for your family. Absolutely.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a thing, right? I mean, we have only a certain budget to work with. And, sometimes without, maybe researching, or without, like you said, you don't know what you don't know. You may not know that there are other products out there that can replace your Windex and can replace your Clorox and all of that, and work just as well, but not give you the headaches, the sinus issues. A lot of people, they feel very tired, and you kind of, again, don't know what you don't know. So if you've always lived like that, how do you know that that isn't feeling good? And you know what I mean? And I know several people that get headaches, get migraines, and they're not certain where it comes from. And doctors can't tell them what's happening and why they're getting these. And I challenge them to go look underneath the sink and see what it is that they're putting into their atmosphere, their personal atmosphere, all day, every day. I mean, these days with COVID around, so now we're weakening. So we're having, we know that people with asthma don't necessarily have the best time with COVID, right?
Yeah.
And now that we're weakening these things over and over and over and over again, I mean, again, no scientist, no doctor here, but logic just tells me, okay, so now we're making ourselves more susceptible perhaps to things that come along like COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point, Katie, because part of the article that I put on my page, this is so scary. So since COVID, people in their homes, automatically you think, okay, I need to clean,
Right.
so that we're safer and we're not going to get sick when we're out in the environment. Poison control calls have gone up 20% or more.
Wow.
Since COVID, because people are overusing the traditional toxic cleaners. They think they're getting it clean, and my heart goes out to everybody, because I would probably do the same thing if I hadn't, gotten the knowledge that I got. So now these poison control calls are increasing. And in some cases, tragically, people are being harmed or even dying because they're combining pneumonia and Clorox.
Oh my goodness. And
And
yeah, that's right. You can't combine certain cleaners.
Yeah. And
Forgot about
just, just think about when you're in your bathroom and you're cleaning the toilet or you're cleaning the shower. I mean, many women have told me they have to wear a mask. If you have to wear a mask, it's probably not healthy for you to use those products.
Right.
Kind of logical conclusion, right?
Right. And there are things that can be used that will get your toilets cleaned, that you don't have to worry about mixing these deadly chemicals. Gayle, it's been so long since I've used chemical cleaners, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the only reason why I was reminded of it, Katie, was because I found this article, and there's keywords and there's things, moms, that you can do to find out the same information. And as I said, it's going to be linked here and it's on my page, because we just, we love everybody so much. We want you to be safe. We want you to be healthy. And hopefully this is information that's really going to help, not only help, but it will change your life. It will probably change your life, right?
It'll definitely prolong it. I'll give you that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we don't even really think about, this is kind of off the topic a little bit, but not really. Sometimes we really don't think about, Katie, free radicals out there in the environment. And
right.
Before I found this store, I didn't understand or even know what that term meant. So basically, free radicals are oxidation, right? Think about when you cut an apple and you lay it on the counter and it turns brown.
Right.
Why does it turn brown? Or you drop a key, a house key or a car key out in the rain, you leave it out there and it rusts. It's oxidation. So that's what we're breathing in, not only from these harsh chemicals in our home, but just the environment itself.
Yeah.
We can slow that, we can't totally get away with it, right?
Right.
But we can slow it down by educating ourselves, changing those habits, getting the harsh chemicals out of our home, out of our body. I mean, even the makeup that we wear,
Mm-hmm.
many, what would you say, well-known products, makeup companies out there, there's 1,900 chemicals in many of those products. And our skin is our largest organ. So we're absorbing it through, what we eat, what we put on our skin, what we breathe in, what we clean with. So it's so hugely important for all of
Totally
us.
agree.
Yeah,
Totally agree. And this is all day, every day. And, like you said, Gail, there are things you can't control. I'm not going to be able to control the amount of pollution that's outside. I'm just
exactly.
not. And I'm going to still drive my car and I'm still going to live in the city. And that just is what it is. But there are things that we can do personally to reduce that somewhat. And that's why another reason why I was really excited about talking with you today, because can you give us some examples of maybe, like, what are the worst chemicals that you can think of? If somebody were to, okay, I'm opening up underneath my sink and I'm going to do this now, what should I start with, knowing that I'm working on a budget? What's the most toxic thing I can get out of my house?
Clorox.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Clorox. Yes. And I mean, read the label. Why does it say on the label, keep out of reach of children? And take some of those terms and just Google them, because then you're going to find out what they really are. Unfortunately, Clorox, Lysol is another one that's very, very toxic. The ingredients are, phosphates, parabens. They put in Clorox, I think it's the last ingredient in Clorox, and it's, this long word. It's
Mm-hmm.
formaldehyde. What do they use formaldehyde for?
Keeping
It
dead
bonds.
bodies. Yeah.
So why is that in your cleaning product? And the other thing too, be aware that these large pharma companies have over 100,000 lawsuits against them right now, today, for harm and death from their products. You
Wow.
can find that out there. I'm not making this up. And, and I encourage you to do the research for yourself. It's so important, but those are probably the two most toxic products, Clorox and Lysol.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Get them
those
out.
out of your home. Get those out of your home. And as Katie and I said earlier, we're not scientists, I'm not a doctor, but I have so many testimonials from people that their asthma was absolutely gone. Psoriasis on their hands. I mean, I had a friend that she couldn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
She could not move her hands because the psoriasis was so crippling. She doesn't have it anymore. So, that you will see in that research and in that article that I've posted on my page, many of these products are linked to cancer and asthma and all kinds of things. And again, I'm not a doctor. So, you always want to check with your doctor when you're on medications, but hopefully most of us, we want to get off of medications. We want, so that's a goal that hopefully you can have for yourself and or your children.
So let's talk about that, because I think a lot of people don't realize, okay, I'm working on a budget. I have a budget for my cleaning products, or I have a budget for food, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if you're removing, so we'll talk about cleaning products because that's our topic. So if you're removing these toxins and everything from your home and you're seeing your doctor less and you're taking less pills and you're doing this, that, and the other thing less, all of a sudden what's happening to your budget? Because those are expensive things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you're gonna
Medication,
save-
doctor visits.
Mhm. Yeah. You are going to save money in the long run. And that's the cool thing about this, you know, like I said, this particular store that I found, I was absolutely floored by the amount of money that I'm able to save every month. And think about it this way. You go out and shop and spend the money anyway,
Anyway,
right?
yeah.
And so you already have this budget for things that you need each and every day, each and every month. Why would you not want to save money and be able to live a better, healthier life and not be breathing in all of these horrible toxins and chemicals, right?
Yeah, I 100% agree. So Gayle, thank you again for your information, for your time. Like I said, we have linked your page to the show notes. So anybody will be able to click onto your page from the caption. You'll come back and you'll drop those links once we're done here. So then that way people can have access to that. But I'm assuming you're available for anybody who maybe has questions or wants to talk a little bit deeper about this topic with you.
Yes, absolutely. Message me anytime. I would love to share and talk more and just help our moms. That's our goal, right? Help our moms.
Exactly. We're all in this together, aren't we?
Absolutely. You bet. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you, Gayle. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.